How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another episode of Animal Talk Podcast with me, Ryan Ferguson.
And me, Ayrton King. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Good. We're having slight glitches this evening when we're recording this podcast, so please bear with us if you pick up any glitches in post-recording, as we have been struggling slightly with some technology, as we do. So, yeah. Ayrton, we have an exciting guest that you've decided to bring on, and I think it's up to you to introduce.
Yes, we've got a very exciting guest joining us today, and it's one of my very close friends as well as one of my colleagues. And the topic we're going to be talking about today is caring for octopus. And I thought, what better than to bring the person that looks after the one currently at our facility. That is our guest today, which is Taygan Roberts. Hey, Taygan, how are you?
Hi, I'm well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Such an honor.
Hello, Taygan. Yes, it's so nice to have you on the show.
Hi, Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Meeting virtually.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Always have to meet virtually first. One of the first questions we asked our guests, every single guest that we have on our show, is, what is your favorite animal?
It's obviously extremely difficult, but I am going to be a bit biased and say octopuses.
What?
They've
Never.
started
I
to
had no
grow on
idea it was
me.
going to be that.
It's in the job description.
Comes with the title, comes with the job.
Excellent.
Yeah, literally.
Well, then that just clarifies that you are the greatest person to talk to about the octopus today. And I thought maybe you can also share with our listeners, to start off with, how you got into the industry, a bit about your background, and how you got to where you are today and working with the octopus.
Okay, great. I can give you a quick summary. I've always wanted to be a marine biologist/scientist, and I studied at Cape Peninsula University of Technology for 4 years. I studied marine science, and I finished studying the end of 2023. And then thankfully, I applied for the Aquarist 2 position at the aquarium, and I got the job the following year. So that was really great.
And now you have octopus children.
Well, yeah, multiple so far. I'm an Occy mom.
Yeah, we literally call Taygan the Occy mom at work. So that's how close she is to the Ockies.
That's a good thing.
And do you maybe want to also just tell us a little bit about some of the daily care for octopus? So our listeners those that don't work in the aquarium industry can kind of get just a rough understanding of what it takes to look after octopus every day.
Yeah, your day-to-day.
Yes, of course. So obviously octopuses are extremely intelligent creatures. It's in captivity, they obviously would get really bored if they're not given enrichment on the daily. So I have a whole tub full of enrichment toys for our octopuses. Obviously, we only have one in our care now because they're very territorial. But every day, I interact with the octopus. I use puzzle balls. I use jars for them to open. A variety of puzzles like cat toys as well that we use. We just place the food inside, and then they try and figure their way around it. Also, just at the aquarium with people viewing the octopus, that also counts as a form of enrichment for them. So a lot of the time you'll see them coming to the window, walking around the exhibits. Thankfully, with our facility, we do algae change every 2 weeks. So that also contributes to the enrichment for the octopus.
That's really cool. I'm always intrigued by different species and how people work with different species, especially in the aquarium situation. As Ayrton knows, I am not very much part of that, and it's one of those things that I'm learning little bit by little bit with Ayrton bringing more fish stuff into this realm of our podcast. I think one of the things that people are always interested about with octopus is, their mouth structure. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more about their mouth structure and how that all works?
Their mouth is like a beak shape, so it's exactly like a parrot beak, but obviously a lot smaller, and it's situated underneath them between their arms. So, yes, sometimes I have been bitten once or twice, but it comes with the job.
I think it's
So,
a
yeah,
love
they
bite.
just, yeah, definitely. I hope so. So, yeah, they use their beaks to obviously open their prey. They love to eat crabs. So we feed our octopuses crabs, as well as I'm sure it's a form of defense if they are feeling threatened by predators or even sometimes by people caring for them. So yeah.
I was just thinking about the defense thing, and first thing that came to my mind was the little octopus in Finding Nemo when he inked. So do they ink quite quickly, or is it just really a form of major defense?
I don't think it's a form of major defense. I think it's just like quickly so that to shock their predators. I've only seen an octopus ink once, thankfully. Otherwise, I haven't really had much experience with that, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's almost like a smoke screen to just evade the predators, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, to just try and get away. Yeah.
Makes them more mysterious.
Yeah. I've also noticed that with the octopus that I've had or had to look after, they use their arms, their tentacles, and they put them around their head, and that also acts as like a form of defense, obviously protecting their more sensitive areas.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, thinking about defense, I think one of the things that comes to mind when you think of an octopus is how good they are at disguising themselves as other things because of their camouflage, and how they can also, I don't know if any of our listeners have seen documentaries on ockies, but they're pretty amazing at creating different textures with their skin, which can also make it really tricky to sometimes find them. Whether it's in the aquarium or if you're looking for ockies in a rocky shore area, because they're actually quite tricky to spot.
Yeah, so each little sucker on their arms, I think they have little chromatophores, and as they feel the environment, they're able to change their colors as well as their textures, which makes them really good at camouflage. Sometimes I struggle to find the
They can be a
Ockie.
rock or they can be a plant.
Exactly.
I wish I could do that.
They can be anything they want to be.
Yeah, sometimes I even struggle to find octopus. Lucky I know their hiding places.
And do you find so I don't know how many of the listeners know, so some aquariums exchange their octopus because they have quite a short lifespan. That maybe Taygan, you can talk a little bit about their lifespan for us, but also with our aquarium, we change the ockies out quite regularly. So maybe you want to tell us a bit about that. But with all the different, ockies that you've gotten to work with, do you find that they have different, like we spoke now, different hiding areas that they prefer? Like, is it specific to each one? Do they have different personalities? Tell us a little bit about like all the different characters you've gotten to look after.
Okay, so our ockies, we have the common octopus at our aquarium. They live about 1 to 2 years. So we keep them for...
Just quite short, it's crazy.
It's extremely short, and we obviously don't want to keep them in our facility for long, as they need to be released to reproduce. So they act as like little mini ambassadors. So I like to keep them for maybe 3 to 5 months, depending on how active they get. If we see they're moving around a lot in the exhibit, then we tend to release them as soon as possible. When we collect our ockies, we try to get them relatively small, just so they can spend a little bit more time in the exhibit, as well as they do take a while to warm up to the new environment. So what I've noticed with the smaller ockies that come in, there's a smaller cave that they all seem to go straight to. And then as they grow bigger, there's a bigger cave that they all go to. So they are very similar in that way. They keep going to the exact same caves in the exhibit. And then I think I've had the opportunity to look after 5 different octopuses since I've been at the aquarium. And it is safe to say they are very, very different. The first one I got to look after, his name was Finnegan. He was very reserved, wasn't much very active in the exhibits, just really loved food. But he did.
Me too.
Yeah, we can relate to that. He interacted well.
Right down Ayrton's alley.
Yeah, he was really cool. I think he's the only male I've looked after since I've been there. Yeah. And then others I've had has been like Linguini and Neptune, and currently now is Sushi. And they've been extremely interactive, very playful, cheeky. Yeah. It's been quite an experience.
Ryne, don't you just love the Aki names?
I was going to say something about that last one, but I decided to reserve comment.
I did that on purpose.
Very cute. I love it. What is their natural predator in the wild?
Seals, definitely Cape Fur seals. I have seen out in the wild, you can see them thrashing the Ockies around. I think smaller sharks like pajama sharks or gully sharks also prey on them, as well as not fishermen use them as bait, unfortunately. Yeah.
So pretty much taking them and putting them in the aquarium for a certain period of time is actually giving them a better lease on life rather than having them tiny in the ocean and maybe not growing to their fullest to be able to breed. So it's also part of conserving the population in some way. Would you say, are they on a threatened list or are they least concerned?
I did read up. I think they are relatively threatened. I think they're orange on the SAASA list, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think they're too heavily threatened, but obviously maybe they bycatch with overfishing and all that types of stuff. So, yeah, quite hectic.
Yeah, so it would definitely be a good thing for them to be put in the aquarium for a certain period of time so that they can grow up to a decent size to at least be able to either swim away quicker or be able to find better hiding spots and be able to survive better after being in the aquarium for some time. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly, and they build their confidence a lot in the aquarium, so that's good for the big old ocean.
Yeah, it's a whole different world out there when they get back out there.
Yeah, the ocean home.
Taygan, do you do any training with the octopus?
No, I wouldn't say I don't do target training or anything. I just do enrichment with different types of toys that I have for them, just to keep them occupied.
Could actually be classified as training.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're getting them to use their arms and manipulate themselves. Obviously, you've got some things where they can squeeze through into tight places as well to get into things.
Yeah, we have.
It's like aerobics for Akis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with the jar, they'd have to open the jar. They manipulating their environment, which is what they would do in the wild as well. So we just also try and copy the things that they would maybe do in the wild. So yeah, they have plenty of toys that they squeeze into. They've got little hamster balls and things like that. So it's been, yeah, it's quite fun.
That's very cool. And being an octopus, what does it classify then as in, the fish world? Because fish have gills to be able to breathe in water. How do octopus do that for our listeners?
They have a siphon on next to their eye, and they use that to pump water through their body. Yeah.
And is that the same thing that helps them to propel themselves through the water, where they can push out water?
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Very interesting. They almost turn into a torpedo as they fly through the water.
Yeah, it's quite cool, actually.
And that's a very short-lived thing. They can only do it for a certain distance, and then they have to obviously suck in more water to be able to do it again.
Yes, or as they stop and then just camouflage themselves.
And coming out of the water, I've seen, on some documentaries, they do climb out on the rocks and move around. So they, would you say they have to obviously hold their breath when they come out, or how does that work for them?
I think they are able to last outside of water. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Ayrton. Is it like, I don't know how long it is. Do you know?
I think if you think about it, it's probably, the same time as the intertidal, like a tidal change, because that's mainly when they use it. So between tide changes, but it's like it's also a crazy concept to think of. It's like us, going in the ocean and just holding our breath for an extended period of time until the water has moved out of the place and we're back on land. If you reverse it, if you think about that, it's
Yeah,
quite
that makes
crazy.
Oh yeah, my breath hold could never do that.
I would die.
Me too.
And then, Taygan, do you find that, maybe it's a difficult question, but do you find there's a specific Aki that you've worked with that you've connected with in particular? Would you have the same bond with all of them, or is there one that's kind of special and close to you that you've worked with that you remember?
I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but you end up having favorites. I think it would definitely have to be Linguini. She was the second Aki I had the privilege of looking after. And there was something about her. I think we just bonded so well. She was like not afraid to be herself, if I could say that. Very cheeky, very cute and interactive, like every day, and extremely clever. And she also had like a little deformed sucker, like one of her suckers had a little mini sucker on, like next to it. So that was very precious as well.
So her little like beauty spot.
Yeah, it was like the best way to identify her.
That's very cool. Actually, that was a question as you were talking about the suckers, and I like sort of trying to think about identification. How do you identify them? I know you've only got one octopus at a time, but how do you distinguish that that's that one from this time? Are there any specific features on the ones that don't have little mini suckers that are next to other suckers?
No, like you can, like sometimes they choose certain color tones that they like prefer. Like I had an octopus now, sausage, and the current one, sushi, and they look extremely similar. But I've noticed like a certain white spot now on sushi, which I can see that even when she does change color, it stays there. So that also does help me identify her.
Right.
But it's just easier for me to look at the timeline and see when they've been released and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you keep saying he and she. Are they sexually dimorphic?
Yes. So if you look at their right side, their third right arm, if it is shorter than the rest, that means it's a male, and he will use that arm to impregnate the female. And then with the female, all 8 arms are the same length.
The same length.
Yes.
So you have to go around and be like, can you please show me your third arm on the right-hand side, please? Is it shorter? Because can't they sort of like retract them slightly or make them look smaller at some times? Because I see they can really stretch them out quite a distance. And then when they pull them back in, they're much shorter. So how do you sort of know if you haven't stretched them all out?
I think it's with observing them a lot, as well as when they come to the window, and they sit on the window, it's quite easy to see. But yeah, it comes with like observing them. Yeah.
I know you've kind of covered it a little bit, but I was just wondering again about the beak and food. Favorite types of food that they really like, and the food that's really good for them, like the things, obviously with the beak they can crush stuff so they can get a lot of calcium and that type of stuff. What is their favorite food?
I found it to be definitely crabs and prawns. Prawns are a winner.
For me too, actually.
They, like, I try.
Very high value.
I try, like, obviously, give them a wide variety diet, like with white mussel, black mussel, pilchard, prawn and crabs, but I keep coming back to prawn and crabs. So,
do you think maybe the prawn is just a lot softer than the harder shelled stuff?
no, I don't know. Maybe it just tastes a lot better than like white mussel. I feel like to me it just makes sense.
Makes sense to me. I only eat prawns. I don't eat any of those other things.
Yeah, me too.
Do not give me mussels. Do not give me any of that. Thank you very much.
Just prawns, thank you.
Yeah, I'll do prawns any day, but nothing else. And then Ayrton goes and talks about bone fish and non-bone fish, and all I can think of is hake. So we won't even get back into that.
Oh, yeah, if you get overfished when you work at the aquarium, let me tell you.
Not the live ones, just them as food.
Oh, yes.
Fish are friends, not food.
Indeed, including octopus.
Thank you, Bruce from Nemo. And then I also just wanted to add, like, obviously, because octopuses are so clever, they can escape quite easily. So the top of the octopus exhibit is covered in, like, astroturf, and they seem to not like the feeling of that, so that helps them stay within the exhibit and not escape around the aquarium.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. So that's the bottom part of it or the top part of the astroturf?
Like the entire top part of the exhibit is like covered in astroturf. Whatever's not underwater is astroturf, yeah.
So that the actual top part, the grassy part, is facing down, or is it the bottom of the astroturf facing down?
Ayrton, do you know how to explain that?
So
Me and my questions.
The fluffy grassy bits point outward. I don't know if we're answering the question.
Okay,
Pointing towards the octopus.
Aha, there we go. Now we've got it.
I'm like, why would we put the astroturf the other way?
Well, it's really hard and horrible at the bottom. So I was like, I agree. I don't like the bottom part of the astroturf.
It's the grassy part they don't like.
Yeah, I would imagine it's that all those little like artificial grass blades basically tickle their little suckers, and I don't think they like the sensation of that. So
yeah, it's probably very uncomfortable.
Oh, octopus are cute.
Yeah, how do you keep an octopus in an exhibit? Use astroturf.
That's so cool.
So it's like not only are we learning about ockies, we're learning how to keep them
inside. Don't let them escape. No climaways. Oh, we've got another hashtag, a climaway.
Can be a bumper sticker, climb away, and a fish swim away for the fish.
And a fly away. Don't forget about the fly away.
That's only for you, Ryne.
Always leaves the birds out.
It's also not my fault because I work with penguins, so they can't fly away.
Okay, they walk away. So we've got another bumper sticker.
They swim away.
They waddle away.
They waddle away. I like the waddle one. Waddle away. It's been really awesome talking to you, Taygan. Do you have any last thoughts, Ayrton?
No, I just wanted to say again, thanks to Taygan for joining us. It's always nice to have a guest on with us, because otherwise it's just Ryne and I chatting. So it's nice to get a third person on here, and thanks for sharing your knowledge and your passion about the ockies. And yeah, I'm just grateful that you chose to be part of this.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, thanks, Taygan. Thanks for the laughs as well. It's been great. And thanks for bearing with us with our slight technical difficulties in the beginning of trying to record this podcast. We had some ghosts in our system messing around, but we finally got it going, and everybody can hear each other, and all our listeners can hear all of us, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So thanks very much.
No problem. It was worth it. Thank you.
I think also just remember, we animal people. We're not really tech people.
Yeah, 100%.
We need a whole technical team in the future.
Yeah, this isn't like tech talk podcast. This is animal talk podcast.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, as we start reaching the end of this episode, if any of you are interested in becoming a member of SAAKA, that's the South African Animal Keepers Association, it's pretty easy. What we'll do is we'll put a link down at the bottom of the description of this podcast, and you can click on there and figure out how you can become a member. It's really important that you become a member of SAAKA, because you'll be able to learn lots of things from SAAKA and communicate with other people in the industry and ask some questions So it'd be really great. Become a member, and there's other exciting things, aren't there, Ayrton?
They are indeed. Speaking of SAAKA, there's also a whole lot of benefits, and one of those benefits include discounts, for example, in specific upcoming workshops. And one of those workshops we did speak about in one of our previous podcasts, and that is the one coming up at Johannesburg Zoo. It is from the 7th to the 10th of October. The rate for that workshop is 1,200 Rand, but if you are a SAAKA member, it is only 1,000 Rand. So there's one of the benefits for joining SAAKA.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
And with the workshop, if you'd like to register for that workshop, we're going to be putting that link in the description of this podcast. So you can check it out after the podcast and read up a little bit more. Or you can go back and listen to our previous podcast with Candice, where we chatted about the upcoming workshop. And if you'd like to register, you can, again, just go and see that link and register through it.
Yeah, and the workshop is the Animal Welfare Workshop, and it'll be on the 7th to the 10th of October at Johannesburg Zoo. So it's a 4-day workshop. Very, very exciting, and lots of information to come up from that workshop. If you'd like to contact us on Animal Talk Podcasts, there are many platforms you can use. One of the platforms is our email address. It's animal.talk201@gmail.com. We'd really like to hear from you, so you can pop us an email, or Ayrton will tell you a little bit more about our socials.
We are on pretty much all the socials: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. For our Instagram and our YouTube, it is Animal Talk Podcast _ZA. So you can go check us out there. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, like our various social media pages, and of course share them so that we can get Animal Talk Podcasts out for more keepers to listen to and engage with us.
Yeah, that's so important. Thanks for that, Ayrton. It's really important that you guys subscribe to our YouTube, like, comment. All of that helps try and get it out there to everyone. We really like to also hear from you. Tell us a little bit more about what you think about the podcast and maybe some ideas that you have. So you're welcome to contact us on any of those platforms, YouTube, or even email. And of course, everyone, stay safe. And remember, animals are our passion.
Thanks everybody for tuning into this episode, and I really hope that you've learned something new. And remember that our quality of care is their quality of life. Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
So this is a really important job. You just have to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's so hard. I hope you're capable.
At the right time.
No pressure. Okay.